Everybody, it's Steph from the Hot Moon Podcast. So the talk has been about Magic Johnson's words about Anthony Edwards after Anthony Edwards' comments about previous generations, specifically only mentioning that Michael Jordan was the only player that had real skill, right? It seemed like Anthony Edwards is going to be in Magic Johnson's bad side. Okay, so look, man. Edwards said this. He said Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill, and obviously that's not true. Okay, was Michael Jordan, the best player in his generation? Absolutely. And maybe that's what Anthony Edwards is going off of, right? That's really the only player, probably. Anthony Edwards is only 22, 23 years old. Okay, he's never seen Jordan play. By the time he started knowing about previous generations, it was probably dominated most like you're seeing clips of MJ, right? Didn't see clips of Elijah Wan, Gary Payton, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. The list goes on and on, right? Isaiah Thomas, so many great players in the 80s and 90s, but the only player to really stand out in his eyes is Michael Jordan, and I don't blame him, right? Every basketball discussion is about Michael Jordan being the number one apex player. Nobody can come close. He's the GOAT. All that stuff, right? Like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, so Magic responds saying, I never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship, and that is strong, right? That is strong coming from Magic Johnson, a Hall of Fame basketball player, a Laker legend. People view him as a Mount Rushmore player as well. And look, he didn't cut the kid any slack. Okay. Magic went fire with fire. I don't think Edwards meant any disrespect, but the old guards, whenever their generation is talked about, or players that are overlooked outside of Jordan, is going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we're at in basketball, right? You're going to have new generation of kids that are very talented, like an Anthony Edwards, who, maybe he will win a championship one day. Okay, he still has a very, early in his career, very young career still, but, he is making a strong case and building his resume to be the face of the league. But old guards are like Magic Johnson. When a guy like Anthony Edwards says something like this, they don't care the context. They don't care. Maybe it was tongue in cheek. Maybe he was joking. They're gonna take an absolute offense to what is being said. Could a Magic Johnson be a little softer in his response to a 23-year-old kid like Anthony Edwards? Maybe, but he sees that Anthony Edwards is becoming the face of the NBA. Okay, so when the face of the NBA, albeit he's young, and he says this, Johnson is going to respond. Now, the funny thing about this is that, even though, he was asked about it, he still responded, right? You know what I'm saying? So, even him saying this is a response in itself, which I find pretty funny. But yeah, so, look, man, this is a generational thing, right? And I'm not trying to excuse Anthony Edwards or anything like that, but the way he views basketball through his young eyes and young lens is going to be different. Could have been a great teaching moment. Who knows? But I don't blame Anthony Edwards, considering that Michael Jordan till this day is pushed as the best player. All the GOAT debates, he sees it just like we do, right? Every discussion about basketball, who should be on the Mount Rushmore, all points to Michael Jordan. Okay. So I really don't blame Anthony Edwards for just having, tunnel vision and only viewing Jordan as the player that only really has skill, which is not true. But Jordan is the one who's won all the championships, 6 for 6, multiple scoring titles. Almost an impeccable resume, and when that's getting pushed as the greatest basketball player and players like LeBron James can't even be in the discussion, then yeah, he's going to say that. It's going to open to the new generation of players viewing it that way. So anyways, you let me know what you think about Magic Johnson's clapback or his response, even though he said it's not a response to Anthony Edwards, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.